Thanks so much. So last night we told you about the guide dog named Simon, that guide dog that died saving a little boy's life. Well, we're going to speak to the Simon's owner in just a few moments. But first, let's show you why so many people are calling Simon a hero.
He's been my eyes and buddy.
He struggles when the discussion turns to Simon, the 80-pound boxer that was Dave Furukawa's guide and companion. Dave was walking his son to school. Witnesses told police that the driver of a red Chrysler ran a stop sign at a high rate of speed before striking Simon, then Dave. Those witnesses have told the Furukawa family that despite injuries that would prove fatal, Simon was still on the job.
What people have said is that Simon either got up or he jumped out and pushed my son out of the path of the car.
Somehow he pushed 4-year-old Will to safety. But that's not all. Bystanders lifted Will and ran him down the street to Mom. Simon went with them.
Broken leg, and he had a gash on his side, and he was having internal bleeding, but he followed home. And once he was sure Will was okay, he laid down.
Well, the driver was cited for that accident, and joining me now on the phone, Dave Furukawa, Simon's owner. Dave, thanks for being with us. First, just want to see how your son Will is doing.
He's doing pretty well. We've been trying to keep him on his regular routine. You know, at 4 years old, fortunately, as long as you don't interfere with that, they don't seem to have too much problem.
Yeah, and you know, Dave, people may not understand how special a bond it is between a guide dog and his owner. Can you give us an idea of what your relationship with Simon was like?
Well, you know, being my seeing eye dog, he went with me everywhere, from work to church to restaurants to shopping, and even flying with me when I went on vacation. So he pretty much never left my side.
Never left your side, and he was there in your moment of need. You call what he did the ultimate show of loyalty. Tell us about that.
Well, I was walking my son to school, as I always do, in the morning, and we got to the crosswalk, and I asked my son to look both ways, you know, trying to teach him correct etiquette and safety. So he looked, and I said, "Is it clear?" And he said, "Yes." So I told Simon forward, and we moved into the intersection, and that's when we got hit.
Because you're visually impaired, correct? So for you, you trust your safety with Simon. Tell us about what Simon did in that moment when the driver ran through that stop sign.
Well, I mean, you know, obviously I am visually impaired. You know, I rely on Simon for just about everything related to, you know, my safety, whether it's crossing the street or whether it's, you know, obstacles that could be lying around. But from what people have told me was that he evidently got hit first, and then I got hit and thrown on the car. But he somehow pushed my son out of the way, so we don't know if he got actually struck by the car or. But at any rate, it looks like Simon, you know, got him out of the way so he didn't get the brunt of any sort of injury. And
Dave, what struck me is when you described that he waited until your son had crossed the street to safety, and that's when he laid down and passed away. Did it surprise you that Simon did that?
Well, actually, he did more than that. He actually limped about probably 200 yards from the scene of the accident to my house. So, you know, it had to have been painful for him, and certainly he, you know, wanted to ensure that my son was okay. So,
is that surprise you about what I'm sure you would call your best friend?
No, not at all. I got Simon when my son was only 2 months old, so they'd pretty much grown up together. So needless to say, there was the bond that existed between myself, but also the bond that existed between Simon and my son. So it doesn't surprise me at all.
And you're gonna get another dog, I understand, right?
When I'm finally able to, you know, walk long distances, it might be some months, but yes, I will definitely get another dog. I'm not going to let these kind of things stop me.
Well, Dave Furukawa, we really want to wish you a speedy recovery. I know you were injured in that accident, and we're really thankful to hear that Simon was able to get your son to safety. You take care, okay?
Okay, thank you.
And there are several organizations across the country that train these guide dogs. And the original school is the Seeing Eye. It was founded in 1928. And we spoke to them. They told us that each dog costs about $60,000. That pays for everything: their training, their food, their vet care until they die, and also the training, flights, room and board for people who will be getting the dog. But that doesn't mean someone who needs a dog actually pays 60 grand for it. If you can believe it, the school only charges $150 for the first dog and $50 for each dog after that. And a dog is typically with the owner for about 8 to 10 years. And for service members out there, they only have to pay $1 for their dogs. The Seeing Eye actually told us they don't get any money from the government. The school is completely funded by donations, mostly funded by donations. So if you would like to donate, you can head to seeingeye.org. And you can read more about Hero Dogs on our website, hlntv.com. One of those is definitely Simon.
Absolutely. What a hero.